We've been tracking Cardano for a while. There is a lot going on. And one thing that I've noticed, especially through this bear market, it only keeps getting better. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by. Let's just jump right into the video. It really does keep getting better. There's going to be people that click this video, they see that intro, and they're like, what are you talking about, Dan? Crypto's down, Cardano's down, it's sideways. Look at this. This is a daily chart. Nothing's going on. How does it keep getting better? And we're going to talk about a piece of news that just came out. It's extremely bullish. I'm excited to track this with you. One thing that I've learned, and this isn't financial advice, everybody. These videos really are entertainment purposes. It's me sharing my crypto journey with you because I know you're on a crypto journey and I'm sharing these data points, these things, these lessons that I'm learning. But one thing that I did learn, and I have learned through crypto, the years that I've been here, bear markets are when you want to get bullish. It's when you want to think bullish. It's when you want to track the fundamentals and see which projects are building solid foundations in preparation for the next bull market. And when it comes to crypto, there are many projects doing really cool things and building, and they're probably going to be very successful. Cardano is at the top of that list. And so let's start here. This is a tweet I just saw. This is Alex. Shout out to Alex. I'm pretty sure he's the one that brought this. This is kind of what I saw floating around on Twitter. Cardano has been ranked 26 among the highest ranking brands in MNLM Top Brand Intimacy 2022 report. Look at this. There it is. Number 26, ahead of BMW, ahead of Bitcoin. There's a couple reasons this is important. If we go over here to the actual report, this is a piece of the report on page 6. It says, intimate brands continue to outperform Fortune 500 and the stock market. So that's right off the bat. Intimate brands continue to outperform Fortune 500 and stock market. It makes me think, doesn't it? Like a year, 5 years, 10 years, over whatever time frame span on the macro, what is Cardano going to be doing in performance-wise? What's that going to look like when it's compared to the stock market? What percentage gains? How much percentage gains greater will Cardano have performed? I could be wrong and might not perform better, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be insane, epic numbers. Most recently, we have compared our top 20 intimate brands with Fortune 500 top brands across profit growth and stock performance during 2021 versus 2020. Intimate brands delivered superior results across profit and stock. Now, let's kind of dig into what this consists of. This was 600. This is taking 600 plus brands compared, featuring more brands than ever before, global orientation and rich comparisons. And guess what? Cardano at 26, ahead of BMW, ahead of Bitcoin, which made it into 30. But some points to note in regards to this. New entry, Cardano, is not only the highest ranked crypto brand, but also the highest performing financial services brand in our study, ranking 26th overall. You can't tell me that's not bullish. And I know it's one little thing going on. It's one little data point, but it's in the midst of all of these other data points that we've been tracking for months and months and months on this YouTube channel. Another bit of news, because that's really great Cardano news. Another bit of news is this. This is kind of the CCV announcement today. We updated our pools. They are updated to 1.35.3. All systems are go. Activate main engine. This is for a Vasil hard fork. IOHK tweeted a little bit ago, or I guess around 5-6 hours ago or so. SPOs running node 1353 now account for 40% plus of mainnet block production. They're looking to get to 75%. That's the number. That's the number we're trying to get to. So this is their tweet from 2:13 p.m. It's like basically almost 6 hours ago, exactly as I do the video. And here's pool tool right here, 44% now. So almost 6 hours later, 44% versus the 42%. So you can see more nodes updating to 1353, and we are getting very close to Vasil. This is extremely exciting times for Cardano. And yes, you know what? It's kind of silly. We're going to look at this 6 hour chart. We really are. But I say it's silly because what we should really be doing so more often is zooming out on a Cardano weekly chart, zooming out on what's happening. We're in a bear market, but the fundamentals, Vasil happening. You just saw this report in terms of this brand intimacy report, and Cardano sitting at 26, ahead of Bitcoin, ahead of BMW. What's happening with Cardano in a world where it's being very much ignored in the crypto space because there's special interests in other protocols and stuff, it's being ignored. Now is such a bullish time to zoom out on the charts. And I can't say that enough. I know I cover the charts and we zoom in a lot and we talk about what's the next move. Right now, Cardano is sitting at like 46 cents, but it's this chart. Even if Cardano goes lower, this is the chart that matters. If you're here on the long term, I can't say that enough in terms of preparing on the macro if you're a long-term investor like I am. Now, if we go to ADA, we will look at the charts because, if you're like me, you're watching the daily, you're watching the 6 hour, you're kind of curious what the next move is because it is at a pretty critical level. We've tracked Cardano and I don't want to repeat myself too much. You can see how sideways it's been on the daily, but we've been tracking Cardano all into this bottom range, and we just talked about how it's getting squeezed into this bottom range. It is what it is. We just have to sit here and wait until there's a nice pop in one direction or the other. But here's the range to the downside that we've discussed being a support area. And it is from where ADA is right now, sitting at 46 cents. It's right around 44 cents down to around 41 cents. It's around a 10% to the downside cushion for ADA right now if there's going to be like kind of a dip for crypto markets, because that's what's going to happen. A dip for crypto markets is likely going to be a dip for Cardano. So just to the downside, that's what I'm prepared for. But what I wanted to talk about on this daily chart is this. You can see on this daily chart, and this could tie into that story of this slow shift, this slow reversal on the macro. On this daily chart, we had this move back in January. Let me see, where is this? It was this move back in January. You can see ADA, just a nice pop to the upside above these moving averages, 20-day, 50-day. This isn't the first time we've looked at that. And ADA getting a very similar move most recently, up above those moving averages. Now, if you look at this momentum oscillator, the slower moving momentum oscillator, the RSI, you can see ADA kind of recently hitting a similar area of resistance on that RSI, coming down, and now consolidating sideways even in a very similar way that it did then. Notice what it did back then after consolidating for sideways, like a good amount. You can see this here, very similar to what's happening now. ADA made a test at these moving averages once again. So on this daily chart, it's probably the biggest thing I'm watching. When will ADA once again make the tests for these moving averages? 49 cents up to around 50 cents. It is just above where ADA is right now. You might be saying, Dan, what we've been tracking is ADA holding support above those areas. And it hasn't. It's failed. And 100% I'm on board with that. It's a bummer to see that. Wanted to see higher highs, higher lows, an explosive move above and out of these huge macro trend lines. Obviously didn't happen. It's a big concern. But what I will say is we do have this 20 moving average crossing above the 50-day moving average. We do have ADA trading within this kind of squeezed range of momentum shift, meaning a U-turn potentially forming. Now, we did not in January. I know the charts are very similar. We did not see ADA have a 20-day moving average crossing above the 50-day back here. It was not happening. So this is kind of a good macro data point for ADA, especially if ADA is able to get back above these moving averages. We're going to see these two kind of intertwining, and it's a very nice formation for kind of a bottom consolidation. I can't say this enough. There's so much else that plays into this. Stock markets, news coming out about interest rates and inflation, and all these different data points they're throwing at us every week. There's so much more that goes into this on the ADA charts. So we need to prepare for every scenario. But this is just what I'm seeing on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, I do want to say this. Another concern is the 20-week moving average getting ready to cross below that 50-week moving average. If I can zoom in, you can see it a little bit better. That red line there, 20-week moving average, already acting as resistance, which we've been anticipating because it happened back here in April. Got the resistance at the area. Now, this setup not looking good for ADA. Momentum oscillators, just historically at these lows, this RSI at this historical low area. I mean, we're talking it's a low. It's in the range that we've seen in March 2020. It's in the range that we saw at the bottom of the last bear market. ADA really putting in a bottom formation right now. All we can do is track it and wait. If we go to the 6 hour, here's what it looks like. The indecisiveness of ADA for really the last 5 days, just sideways. And I'm just like you. I mean, there's not even much structure here. I'm just watching. I'm waiting. There's not much to say about this other than I'm going to, go hang out tonight, relax. This is the range. This is the upper trend line resistance. ADA just keeps failing. That last 6 hour candle I was watching, I thought we were getting a little breakout for a second, and the 6 hour candle closed so weak. So right now we're in a new 6 hour candle. We're in a new daily candle. ADA down. It's red. It's so new. I mean, not even 20 minutes in as I do this video. So we're going to track that and watch what happens. But right now, I think the biggest thing, if there is going to be any downside, this is the range to watch for support. Can ADA hold that support and put in a higher low from this swing low that we got back in July, kind of towards the beginning of July. So that's what I'm watching the ADA charts. Really not too much to say, but when we have things like this going on, 44% of the way there in terms of 1353, and then we have this. I mean, this is just, it's really cool to see Cardano sitting at 26. Look at that, ahead of BMW, ahead of Bitcoin. This is what we want to see in a bear market, everybody. I know price is not always fun to track. I know price is not always fun to talk about. I know we want all-time highs. I mean, if you're a crypto investor, it's just natural. But if we're in a bear market, if we have to be in a bear market, this is exactly what we want to see happening with this crypto Cardano. The fundamentals becoming even more sound than they've been. So we continue to track it. We wait and see. Hit the subscribe and like. I appreciate you. Have an awesome night. God bless.